right. Okay. I'm gonna start out with, I would say my favorite for a sad reason, Taker losing.
Yeah.
Because I
I was just talking about that
there
with
are a
someone.
few things in life that I can describe back to you with vivid detail,
Mhm.
and Undertaker losing is one of those moments.
Yeah.
My brother wa just quick synopsis. Brother was home from California, had to sleep on the couch in the living room or whatever area because he took my bed. And obviously I'm the only wrestling fan in Quincy essentially. So I was watching it on my iPad and I tuned in a little late to 30 because he was home and, occasions. And I was halfway through the Brock Undertaker match. I'm like, oh, sweet, like, just in time.
Mhm.
And I am just watch this intently. And then when the ref counts to 3,
I know.
I didn't think it was real. I really didn't. My mouth dropped and I was frozen for a good 10 minutes, or at least until they showed the Undertaker gift guy, who with that
Yeah.
face, that iconic. Once they showed that, I went full out laughter. I could not stop laughing. So there was that nice break, but oh, I will never forget that moment. I don't think any wrestling fan would.
Yeah, no, I agree. I thought about putting that one on here, but it's definitely one like you said, it's not like a favorite moment, but it's definitely like a standout moment.
Yeah, like
And yeah, that is a conversation we could have for another day because that
that's
whole thing
another whole,
is
yeah.
very confusing to me. But okay, one of my favorite moments, unfortunately, a lot of mine are like recent, but that's okay. I would say Seth Rollins cashing in his money in the bank during Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 31 and winning. That is just like, and the best part, other than the fact that he did it like in the middle of the match, which was something that they hadn't really done before. Usually they would wait until the end. So that was iconic. I loved that when he was walking up, he swung the title how he used to. And I was just like, this is why you are my king. You are my king. I know that was so epic. It was just so good and it was so perfectly timed. And it's one of those that still like gives me goosebumps when I watch it because there's a few cash-ins that are really really good. But that one is definitely one that I'm just like I don't know. One of the more
Oh, I'm
iconic
with you
ones.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Those are my
Um
favorite.
and then I guess another one would be for me from WrestleMania 20, Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero celebrating in the ring together at the end of the show because they both were world champ, WWE champion at the time. And if you knew how close they were outside of the ring and how hard they had worked to get to that moment, I mean, both of them were like nearing 40, and it was like the first time that they had been WWE champion. It was just that's another one that I think, similar to like what you said about The Undertaker. Um, that image of them like hugging and crying in the ring is something that's like ingrained in my brain. So I had to include that one because,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
it's not on mine, but that was
yeah,
one of those moments that it's sad due to circumstances that it won't be, honored the way it should
yeah,
on television, but it's such I would say, pivotal moment in
mm,
wrestling because it's not the biggest guys. It's
yeah,
not the Vince McMahon prototype champion. These
mhm,
are wrestlers, and, they went up through the business, in the, I would say, in this day and age, indies,
yeah, yeah,
with the territories, indies, tomato,
yeah,
potato. And it's just their journey, like, that's one of those moments where you're like, this is a special moment happening, and it's sad that it won't get the credit that it deserves
yeah.
for,
I feel you.
what's my other
I
one?
have a couple more,
I
but
have a couple more. The Hardys returning at WrestleMania 33.
oh yeah, I loved that too.
Maybe one of my favorite moments of all time, not only because I broke my friend's chair jumping up and down on it. I was like, it was instinctual. I didn't know
Yeah,
what to do. Body, unbelievable. But it was the fact that it was in the age of social media, which we're in right now,
yeah, and it
and it
didn't leak.
wasn't spoiled. And it
No,
wasn't spoiled. And there's certain aspects or certain moments like that where if it doesn't get spoiled, like I would equivocate it to Sting returning at Survivor Series or
Mhm.
debuting at Survivor Series, excuse me.
Mhm.
AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble. Just moments like that where, yeah, you might hear talks about it, but no one's taking it,
Yeah.
Dave Meltzer serious.
Yeah.
So to have that and then hearing the stories after it, not only on the Extreme Life pod, but on other documentaries and shit,
Mhm.
like it makes you appreciate it that much more. That
And I
like, oh
love the
shit,
New Day.
it went through everything.
Yeah, and I love the New Day's reaction.
Oh,
They were
bet.
just as hyped as everybody else in the audience.
Oh my god. And was that the same Mania too that Triple H and Batista fought each other? Because Xavier Woods also has another hell of
I
a
know,
moment
that is an
there.
epic moment. I love to rewatch
That's another
that.
that could be a WrestleMania moment.
Yeah. But speaking of the New Day, I would say one of my other favorite moments is Kofi Mania.
Well,
Kofi beating Daniel Bryan.
I was gonna say, we have a comment here. Someone
Yes.
said Kofi Mania. This was before we even went live.
I know,
They
hours
sent this
before.
in.
Yeah, that
Good
was
shit, Micah.
it
You
was at
did it.
1:40 my time, I believe. But yeah, no, I think that was a moment. I feel like it's memorable in so many different ways because for one, it was kind of similar to when Daniel Bryan first won. It just felt like the complete underdog. There's no way they're ever going to put the title on this guy. And that was kind of what it was with Kofi too. It was like you didn't see it happening. And then it happened and it was just another moment that I feel like a lot of people remember exactly where they were or how they felt when they saw it. And something that stands out to me the most about that is wrestlers' reaction, particularly black wrestlers' reaction, because he did become the first ever black WWE champion, which is fucking crazy to me. Absolutely insane that it took that long for that to happen.
Yeah,
But
right?
I just remember, and it's sad at this point because I remember a picture, or I think it was a video of MVP and Shad Gaspard
That's what I was gonna
crying
yeah, I
when
was
it
gonna
happened, and it's
yeah.
just so sad thinking about it now, just because of Shad. So sad, but
That was very sad.
um, it's really cool to see. People might not understand wrestling, and they might make fun of you for watching it or for caring or being emotionally invested in it, whatever. But it's like that just shows you how much of a grip and how much it has on people and how much it means to people because two men were crying because of what they were witnessing. So it just shows you how important it can be. And that's something that I think I will forever remember.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a really cool moment watching that
Mhm.
with my friends at school, who
Yeah.
are also into it, and they, like, got the significance of it, and it was just a really, special moment, and, what was I gonna say? I have a couple. I
I
said
have
take
one
or
more.
leave. Yeah, what's your one more?
My last one is just Becky two belts at WrestleMania
Oh,
35.
that was a really special moment.
Yeah, it's finally when Becky got like her recognition. It was kind of, she had become the man and found her place, I guess, in the women's roster. I kind of feel like it took time for Becky to become Becky Lynch.
Mhm.
And this was kind of that defining moment for her. And as my favorite current female wrestler, that was a really cool moment. And looking back on it in hindsight, I fucking love that it happened over Charlotte. So
And people forget they kinda screwed up the finish,
yes, I know. But
but she was
I
gonna win
just
anyway, so I
uh,
don't really care. You had to have
yeah,
Becky Lynch go over there, so I'm alright with that.
yeah.
Mine is The Rock beating John Cena,
Okay.
and why this is my favorite is because this is when I mean, everyone takes a little hiatus off of wrestling and then always comes back home, and I just got back into it in high school, and it was one of those moments where I was watching it down here. My friends came over to watch it, even though they weren't fans of it, and they were all in on it or weren't all in on it like I was. And then to have the main event and I don't know if my other best friend was there, but my definitely the clock tower, Big Ben was there, and them seeing like I don't. This is a weird way to describe it, but like to experience that and then have your like best friends there too,
Yeah.
and they have no idea why. Like it's like it was a weird moment. It was a nice moment because The Rock obviously is like
I
my
cried.
favorite of all time. Like Dwayne
Mhm.
Johnson, it goes Dwayne Johnson, Tom Brady, Pedro Martinez, my three favorite athletes of all time. And to have him win and come back and just how he looked, like it was just incredible. It was just it was like it was awesome.
I cried.
I think I did shed a tear. I was jumping up and down.
No, I cried because I was upset.
I know you were, and
Okay,
that's
okay.
sad. And John Cena's up there in the he's on the entrance ramp and he's
A
doing a
very
lot of
iconic
this
photo.
very iconic photo. We're probably gonna see in 2K23.
Yeah. So,
So
yeah, that I thought about taking one of those, but uh no. Because I didn't I didn't think of it in a fond way. I was like, "Nah, that's not one of my favorites." Um okay, so let's